Alright, well here's a video about how to disassemble and check and clean a transmission. This particular transmission is out of a 1984 Honda Z50R. So anyway, split your cases and remove the transmission as shown in another video. So once you pull it out, this is what it'll look like. This end will be on the clutch side, and this side will be on the other side. So, I think I actually have this upside down. Not that it really matters, but anyway. So whatever. Once you have your transmission out, go ahead and separate the main shaft and the secondary shaft. Alright, so first we're going to look at the shift drum. Okay, this is what the drum looks like. This is what actually controls the gear changes. And as it spins, you'll see that these shift forks move along it, and that actually just, in a synchronized manner, changes the gears. Alright, so once your cases are split and your transmission is removed, this is what your shift forks will look like. So, to take the forks off of the drum, you get some needle nose pliers, and you'll see right there, there's a clip. It's over here, see? Just pull that straight out. Okay, that's what it looks like. And then this little pin here. What I do is I get my little magnetic tray here. I stick my pliers on there, and then I use it to pull that pin out. There we go. That's what the pin looks like. Right there. Check those for wear. What happens is the area where it rides down here, so here's the notch, they wear down here. So just run your finger along it, and basically if you can't feel anything, then they're fine. So anyway, once you got that removed, this will come right off. You want to check this for play, and you also want to measure this distance right here on the forks. Check your manual for specs. Those can be found online. Manuals can be found online. Okay, and then get your pliers wherever they are. And you can do the same for the other fork. Make sure that you keep these, that you remember which side these go on, because they are different. Just pull this other clip out. Same. The clips are the same. You can interchange them. They don't really matter which one's which. Alright. Then try to get this other pin out. There we go. And now you can just slide this shift fork. Oops. Now you can just slide this shift fork off. Alright, once again, checking for wear. Shouldn't be much play. Measure this distance here, according to the manual. And then you're ready to reassemble everything if everything's in spec. So you just drop on your shift fork. Make sure you got the right on the right and left on the left. Check your pin again on the left side. I forgot to say that. Just drop the pin in. And the clip, you can usually just put these on by hand. So the pointy side goes to the pin, and the side with the little bump on it goes on the outside. So usually these can go on by hand. There you go. Control the shift fork. I like to put some oil or assembly lube on the drum before I install it, just so that it shifts nice and smooth. Alright. So then you install your other clip. These can usually be installed by hand, but if you got new ones, they're nice and stiff, you might need to use pliers. Okay, there we go. And now your shift drum is all set up, cleaned, and ready to go back into the motor. So you can set that aside. Alright, and now we're going to work on the transmission. Alright, this is the primary shaft. This is the one that is completely enclosed in the engine, and then this drives the one that sticks out and has the sprocket on the end. Okay, so this right here would have that really big gear that engages with the clutch. Alright, make sure you keep all your washers where they go. Just pull the washers off and keep everything in order. Like if you can see here, I'm going to pull this transmission apart. I'm going to put the parts in order the way they go when they go back together. That way there's no problems with that. Alright, and then get your snap ring pliers. Remove this snap ring. Alright, set this over here on the right side. Over here, because that's the order it goes back on. Alright, and I'm going to slide off third gear. Just put it like that. Now there's another snap ring. And a washer, I do believe. So I'm going to slide that off. Alright, so slide this snap ring off. And just put it in order on your workbench. And then there's going to be a washer. Little copper washer. Just don't lose that. That goes there. And then this gear goes here. And here's your main shaft. And this gear is actually part of the shaft, and it does not come off. So now just check everything for wear. Make sure all your gears have all the teeth on them. And once everything is clean and checked, you can start reinstalling. So we're going to put second gear back on. And that little washer that looks like it's made out of copper or something. And then the snap ring between second and third gear. Just expand it enough to get it over the shaft, not too much, because it won't stay on if it's too stretched out. Alright. Make sure that's in that notch and that it's spinning well all the way around. There we go. Now install your third gear. Make sure that these dogs on the inside aren't broken. It just slides right on there. And also the snap ring for third gear. And that just goes right on there. Just like that. Expand it just enough to get it over the shaft. Make sure that it spins freely on the shaft. Now you're all set. Get this little washer on here, don't forget it. And now you're all set. And your primary shaft is all cleaned up, reassembled, and checked. Alright, so this is the counter shaft. This is the second shaft. This is the second and last shaft in the transmission. Right here, and this is where your sprocket bolts on the left side of the motor. Alright, so we're going to start pulling stuff off. There's this washer here. And then there's this large spacer sort of thing. And then this would be the third gear. And so this goes right here. Now there is another snap ring. Oh, I'm sorry, this is just first there's a washer. One of these little copper looking washers again. And then there's a snap ring below it. So I'm just going to pull this off. Alright.